How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. ARK Invest might start a new ETF, or at least they're expecting to. So this is going to be a space ETF. It's really interesting. I ran across it because I was just checking my WeBull portfolio as I was going to the gym, and I saw NPA, a stock that I invested in a while ago. It jumped 10% after hours. I clicked on the news. I wanted to see what was happening. And it was that ARK Invest is planning on possibly starting this new space ETF. So that's why I look like this, because I just got out of the gym, but I want to cover this for you guys, talk about what this could mean, because I want you guys to get in early on the stocks that could be affected by this, because a couple stocks are going up very quickly on this news. Now, we're going to hit on all the implications of this, what they're planning on doing, and what I'm going to do for this in a moment. But before we get into that, if you guys don't mind, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Please hit subscribe. If you haven't hit subscribe, feel free to share this to someone if you want to. Give them a heads up on this, because I think this is really interesting news. This is as of just a few hours ago. I'm not going to cut through the video very much because I want to get this information out to you soon. Also, if you guys want some free stocks, if you are in the US and you're not able to trade after market hours, or you want some free money, check out WeBull down below. They're giving up to $3,700 away. You can trade up until 8 p.m. So if you heard this, you could buy into some of the stocks early on. Now, if you want to hear about this stuff a little bit earlier, you can check out the Patreon down below. I say that because I was just looking at some of the stocks that we bought just this week. We can see CCIV. We're up huge on this one. I forgot what we bought in on this one. I think it was $14 or $15, something like that. We're up a good amount. We're up, I think, 20 to 30% or something like that in a few days. BTWN, made a video on this a little while ago. We're up big on this one. CCIV, we actually just bought more of this one today. Or CLSK, sorry. We bought more of this one today, and we're up about 10% on just what we bought today. And I keep on buying more because this one is so interesting to me. But if you want to know how much I buy and when, you can check it out in the Patreon. And this is interesting. The whole ARK investment new ETF is interesting because we talked about DMTK a couple hours ago. This is one that I just bought a good amount of, and it went up 8% after the market closed, 8% up from when I bought it. This is a long-term hold for me, and I talked about how I thought ARK Invest could buy this. Now, the interesting thing is, right after I do this, I hear about ARK Invest starting this new ETF. And this doesn't change my views on DMTK at all. It's just interesting because I was just talking about a stock that could be bought by ARK, and then we hear about this new ETF that could open up a lot of possibilities. So, first of all, I gave this to my Patreon members really soon. This is what I found. Cathie Wood plans space ETF. Here's the filing from Reform Trader on Twitter. SPCE, SRAC, and NPA all jumped. If we take a look at them, NPA, one that I've held, we're just barely positive on this one now. Nice to see, though. We've been holding it. Everyone that's been wondering what I've been doing, I told them I'm just holding it for now. I feel like there's still some positive catalysts, and it's a good thing we did because I think this will jump again tomorrow. SRAC jumping a lot after hours. Holy cow, 27%. And then we have SPCE, which has jumped about 14% after hours too. So these are all stocks that I've been holding. Well, SRAC isn't, but the other two are ones that I've been holding for a while because there's so much possibility behind them. Now, what is this? What's the news? Well, Cathie Wood's ARK Invest plans ARKX space exploration ETF to tap into the growing industry. So they've said a lot. They've talked about the space industry a lot just from their own standpoint, and they think that's going to be a huge addressable market. They think that's the way of the future. They invest in disruptive innovation, and they've already invested a good amount in SPCE. So I think they're going to continue to funnel more money in there. Now, I'm not sure what other stocks they have in the space sector. If you guys know, please put it in the comments below because I'd be interested in hearing. But they are the largest actively managed exchange-traded fund. They plan on opening a space exploration ETF under ARKX. You can see that Maxar Technologies and Virgin Galactic jumped a lot after hours. They are experiencing massive growth because their flagship fund, ARK has had more than 170% increase last year. Now, Now, Kathy Wood told CNBC last month that investors should get on the right side of change and stay on the right side of change because it has hit escape velocity in the aftermath of the pandemic. Now, I find this really interesting. Now, there are a couple different ways to play this. First of all, you can invest in some of the individual stocks that are being blown up right now. But I think that's a risky play a little bit just because they're booming up so much right now. Now, if there's one that you feel really strongly about, first of all, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice, but this is kind of what I'm thinking, right? So you can play the individual stock, and if you feel really strongly about one in particular, this might be a great time to jump in. But if you want to play the general market, I still plan on holding NPA and SPCE. If there isn't a stock that is included, or if there's a stock that's not included in this ETF that people think will be, I think it's going to dip massively. Now, this money going into the company doesn't necessarily mean that the company is going to do really well. I mean, ARK Invest has done really well investing, but it's not a surefire thing that if they throw money in the company, it's going to go up. I think we're going to see a lot of companies being bought by ARK Invest. I mean, typically they have around 50 holdings in these different ETFs. So we're going to see a lot of money. I don't think a lot of retail investors are going to buy all 50 stocks that ARK Invest buys, but they might see the top couple and want to invest a lot more in them. So I don't plan on buying any of these individual stocks as of now, just because ARK is going to buy them. Now, that might change. I might buy something in the future. I don't know yet. But what I'm going to do is I might buy this ETF when it comes available. I think this will be a good way to diversify in the market. And I already hold two other ARK portfolios or ARK ETFs, ARKG and ARKK. Now, ARKK is kind of their overriding flagship fund. ARKG is in the genomic sector, which is really difficult to invest in and become diversified because for the layman or for the normal investor, that's not an area of expertise a lot of us have. So I might do the same thing in this. Now, I think space is probably a little bit easier to understand than genomics, but how am I supposed to know if a company really has the technology to do what they want to do? That's going to be a lot harder for me to understand than ARK to understand. So I will probably buy some of this ETF when it comes out. But if you want to know exactly what I buy and when, you can definitely check out the Patreon. Like I said, these are just a couple of our plays. Now, again, if you want to see exactly what I'm selling and buying and when, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. Some of these penny stocks we've been buying recently, we've been getting in and out a lot quicker than expected, just because we have been getting a lot of profit right away. So I've been selling and buying those a little bit more actively, but with some of these other ones, I've been holding and we've made really good profits, like I said. So definitely check out the link down below to Patreon if you want that. Just today, we're up 29% in CCIV. It's been a crazy day in the market, but definitely check that out. Be on the lookout for more news on ARK's ETF. If you guys want that, please hit subscribe. I will update everyone when I get more information. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And if you want to see the video I did just a couple hours ago on DMTK, definitely check out this video here. Thanks.